What if the struggles you think are random are actually organized? What if the anger in your home, the temptation in your private moments, and the hopeless thoughts in your mind are not accidents? Allah tells us Shaitan is our clear enemy. But what if his strategy is more structured than we realize? Who are the sons of Iblis? And how do their whispers quietly shape your daily life? Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Soul of Deen, where faith meets reflection and Islam is understood with both the heart and the mind. If reminders like this help you grow, gently support the channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing with someone who may benefit. The problem: Shaitan feels invisible. Most people think Shaitan only influences major sins. Something dramatic, something obvious. But Allah says in Surah Al-Araf 7:27, "Indeed, he sees you, he and his tribe, for where you do not see them." Notice the word, his tribe, not just one whisper, a system. The Prophet said in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, Shaitan runs through the son of Adam like blood. Dasim, the whisper inside the home. Some reports mention Dasim, linked to conflict in the home. Why do small disagreements become large arguments? A tone, a misunderstanding, a single word. Suddenly, ego replaces mercy. The Prophet said in Sahih Muslim that Iblis sends out his detachments, and the one who causes separation between spouses is brought closest to him. Why target families? Because when the home weakens, everything weakens. Psychologically, arguments grow when we prioritize being right over being kind. The whisper says, don't apologize. Prove your point, and peace disappears. But home is not the only battlefield. Al-War, the whisper of desire. Another name mentioned in classical works is Al-War, associated with immoral desire. This whisper begins quietly. A glance, a scroll, a thought that stays a little too long. Allah says in Surah An-Nur 2400 hours 30, tell the believing men to lower their gaze. Lower the gaze before the action happens, because desire starts in the eye before it reaches the heart. Psychologically, repeated exposure makes sin feel normal. And when something feels normal, it feels harmless. But over time, it reshapes your heart. Thabr, the whisper of despair. Then comes hardship, a failure, a loss, a disappointment. And a voice says, what's the point? You'll never change. Allah says in Surah Az-Zumar 39:53, do not despair the mercy of Allah. Despair is powerful, because when hope disappears, effort disappears. Psychologically, hopelessness convinces you to stop trying. But a believer survives by hope. And Shaitan hates hope. Zalambar, the whisper of small compromises. Another name mentioned is Zalambar, linked to dishonesty in trade. But dishonesty isn't only in markets. It's an exaggeration, in hiding the truth. Allah warns in Surah Al-Mutaffifin 83:1, woe to those who give less. Not major theft, just slightly less. Psychologically, integrity weakens slowly. First a small compromise, then a bigger one, until the heart stops reacting. So what is the solution? Not panic, not fear, awareness. Allah says in Surah Fatir 35:6, indeed, Shaitan is an enemy to you, so take him as an enemy. The Prophet taught simple protections, reciting Ayat al-Kursi before sleep, Bukhari, seeking refuge in Allah when angry, Bukhari, saying Bismillah before entering the home, Muslim. These actions create pause. The next time anger rises, or temptation whispers, or hopelessness settles in your chest, pause gently. Ask yourself, is this really my voice, or a whisper I allowed to grow? Tell me in the comments. Which whisper do you think affects people the most today? If today's video stayed with you even after it ended, the next one will take this understanding even deeper. Don't miss it.